Hey, brother BJ.
You ready? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where do people go to get that money, man? Because we need
to go to our website. We need to go to that website, brother. It's straightwords.com, straightwords.com. And on that website, what do we have, brother? Every which way that you can pay, sir?
No, I was going to say, we got on that website, we got a Zelle option for you.
Right.
We got a Cash App option for you. We got an Apple Cash option for you. We got a PayPal option for you. And if there's an option that ain't there, that you want to have there, then you need to let us know. And you can text me, and we will give you we'll pick up that option and we'll add it. But brothers and sisters, look, we have committed, as Brother BJ said, Brother BJ, by the way, who is a Black Radio Hall of Fame member, legit. So I want you to know that. But want you to know that, you know, we committed to a third year. Now I'm looking at, since my brother editor asked the question, how do we bring people together? How do we do that? Okay. Then we can convene some people. Straight words to do it.
Right.
Ain't no use in saying, why don't somebody do something? But we would need your help, your participation to do that. So what's that website again, Brother BJ? Because we need your financial support to make stuff happen. And you supported us the last couple of years, and we need you now, today, for real. Right. And you can go to straightwords.com also, and there's a little chat box. And if you want to send us your phone number, and your email address, we can add you so that we can contact you regularly every week about what's happening with the show. Okay?
Beautiful.
Okay, Brother BJ. So what are you saying now? We got a special guest on the line?
Yes, sir. She has been on our show before, and she's a beautiful sister. We're talking about the great pastor in the city of Chicago, Victoria Brady, ABJ Civic Center, and she's doing some wonderful work with the children. We got a wonderful event that's coming up real soon on April the 19th. She's on the line right now with us, brothers and sisters, live in the city of Chicago. Come on, Pastor. How you doing tonight?
Greetings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Love and peace. Blessings. Love. Hallelujah. Hello.
All right, now. All right, Sister Lieutenant, let's get it on.
Now, you know Sister Lieutenant has to come proper. You know I do.
I know
Love
you do
and
now.
peace, my brothers.
I know you do. So, this is Sister Victoria Brady, Pastor Victoria Brady, Nana Victoria Brady. I mean, a sister who is all about serving our people and serving our community. So, Sister Pastor, let's start with the thing that I'd like people to know about, that they can start buying them tickets right now, okay? Let's start with that. And then at some point, I want to have you talk about, I think you brought some special guests with you.
Yes.
You talk about development of young people and working with young people, because I think that's really, really important. So I was looking at a flyer that you sent me, and I was noticing that there's a play, That's Love, From the Cradle to the Cross, April 19th at the Reva and David Logan Center for the Arts. This is located on the University of Chicago campus, 915 East 60th Street. And the performance begins at 7 p.m. Central sharp. That means don't be late. And if you want to attend, go to tickets.uchicago.edu and get your tickets now. Sister Lieutenant, talk to us about That's Love, from the cradle to the cross.
Wonderful. Thank you, my brother. That's Love, from the Cradle to the Cross is a beautiful story of a young teenager who has experienced the love of Jesus Christ, Yeshua, and she has become a young witness that testifies about that love and that passion. And she has a family member, her auntie Jezzy, who is really broken and just have had a hard time and doesn't believe in love nor the power of love. And so we get to see we see it sometimes, but it's pretty rare that you see a young person actually witnessing to an older person. Often the formula is older people trying to tell young people what to do. And you know how I feel about that, Brother Naba'a, and about the power of young people and who they really are. So this particular story, we get to see a young person witnessing to her elder and elders around her very respectfully. And as you know, with ABJ, it's intergenerational. There's a child as young as 8 years old in this production, and the oldest person, I believe, is maybe above 65 years old. So That's Love, from the Cradle to the Cross it's a physical presentation of the love of Jesus for his people, for mankind, and starting with his people. And I'm being very intentional about my words. So again, it's a beautiful story. I'm now calling it a lyrical drama. I'm calling it a lyrical drama because it's very poetic and it's moving and sweeping, has beautiful singing and a little bit of dance. So yeah, and it's coming at a very special time where, and I'll cut this answer short. I said I wasn't going to give long-winded answers, but I do want to say that it's coming at a time. That's Love. Not only is this ABJ's 32nd year anniversary, we've now been around 32 years as of April 14, 2025. But also, it's our own way of inserting. I heard the conversation that you were having, all of you on the show earlier this evening, and about what is it that we can do? What do we need to be doing now? Well, we have love, and we have the power of love, and love of self first. Well, God first, of course, and then love of self. So it's really a production that points us to a way that we don't talk enough about. We don't talk about love and the power of love enough. And this is not some lofty dream or head stuck in the mud kind of thing. I mean, the power of love. And we know for sure in our community, in spite of what is reported and in spite of what is shown, we know how to love. We are a loving people. So That's Love is the opportunity to come together, celebrate the love and passion of Jesus Christ, Black Jesus, the Black Hebrew Jesus, in the identity of who he is, and present it to whoever would desire to come and see this production.
Wow, that's really beautiful too. But the master said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid them not." And the Holy Quran says that the Messiah taught lessons from the cradle to the grave. So we should, and Jesus, what? Did he start his ministry when he was 12 years old? Something like that? So
that's when he was going into the temple with his parents, absolutely.
That's when he was going into the temple. So, Sister Lieutenant, I think you're right on time with it. You got anybody else you want to bring into this conversation?
I think the young man that is actually playing the Christ might be on with us, Malachi.
Okay.
Are you with us, Malachi?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, speak
Absolutely.
up. Yes, we did. We can hear you.
Yep. Okay, cool. Everybody's doing well.
All right. Yeah, we have Malachi, who's actually playing the role of Jesus, and he's a phenomenal young man. He and Kevin Tyler, they wrote a particular song for the play. And I mean, he's just come in, and he's. It's interesting because when I met him, he auditioned. So this is a new young man for ABJ. When I met him, one of the first things he said is, "I'm a PK. I'm a PK kid." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "That's even better." Not knowing that he was going to end up playing the role. I said, little did he know that he would end up in the role of Jesus. I think he came in as a chorus member to sing in the chorus, and now he's the lead of the show. So say hello to us, Malachi, and your among friends everybody. And family. Yeah, what say ye?
Hello, friends, family, wherever you live, Malachi.
Malachi, I got one question for you, brother.
Uh-huh.
Do you have hair like lamb's wool, brother?
He has to come out to see the show. He has to come out. You can't answer that one.
I ain't answering.
Well, he
got to come to the show,
name, bro. He sure has a great name to play that role.
That's right,
Malachi.
Yes, sir.
So Malachi, I guess you all have started your rehearsals and everything. Tell me about the role that you will be playing. Tell me about the role and tell me something about what you think when we come to see you, we will experience.
Okay. First, I feel my role is very powerful. In the words that I do say, my very meaningful, like Pastor V said. She speaks with intention. I feel as she wrote the whole play with intention. So yeah, that's what I'll say. I'll say it's very intentional. My role will be very intentional, and what to look forward to. Just look forward to, like she said, a lyrical drama that is very emotional. And when I first began, like she said, I came as a chorus member not knowing. I haven't acted in 5 years, but I do believe that this role and the time that I came, Pastor V, it was in alignment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so when you talk about the power of this role, what are some things that make it powerful? Is it
biblical?
Go ahead.
Very biblical. A lot of what I'm saying comes straight from the Bible, which I can't give you the script, but yeah, it's straight from God Himself. So yeah.
And now when you look at your portrayal, and you look at, as Sister Pastor said, most often we see older people calling or trying to call to young people in the faith. Right? What does it feel like to be acting in a role where the young person is calling the older person to faith? How does that feel, and what do you think about that as a concept?
Honestly, when I first got the role, I was pretty shocked. I didn't see myself as Jesus. Or I'm a PK. I grew up in the church and all that. I can't speak for everybody else, but playing the role is a lot of pressure, if I do say so myself. So me being 22 years old and playing and speaking to older people, even my cast members, is very humbling, if I do say so myself. Humbling. That's the word.
Do you feel that this portrayal can open up more discussions between older people and younger people, and do you think it can be empowering to young people?
I do. coming from a church background, a lot of young people go to church, myself included, to a lot of churches being kind of sort of outcast in a way because church is traditional. So me having that, what word?
Take your time. We want you to get in the time, okay?
To speak to those people, the older people, and I feel like it's opening up a door for the people that do come and watch us, and I feel like they will be more open to having that discussion with other people.
Yeah. Hey, Brother Malachi, did I hear correctly that you helped to write a song for the play?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. Can you tell us what's the name of the song? And I don't know if you wrote the lyrics or the music. Tell us about that and how it came about.
The name of the song is "Come to Me," and it's singing to God. We spent a couple of days working on it, and me and Kevin, we sat down and literally just brainstormed how to have a conversation. It was this was right before, I don't want to give too much, but this was right before the resurrection. So it's basically him and the God that I have, done what you've to me. Now hold me, come grab me. It's like that.
Did you write the lyrics or the tune, or how did y'all get the music? You did both. What do you play?
Yeah, me and Kevin both, we tag team on it.
Okay. Do you play an instrument?
I play the keys and I sing.
Play the keys. Oh, my man. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think we got Brother Kevin on too, Brother Naba'a.
Oh, we do. Let's bring Brother Kevin in. Hey, Sister Pastor, you want to introduce Brother Kevin to us?
Sure. We have Kevin Tyler, he's been with the organization for many years, came up through the ranks, came up through the programs, and became an instructor, became our lead engineer, studio producer, production. I mean, he's just all around and just such a blessing to ABJ. And whenever we're doing a music project, anything that has music involved in it, Kevin is my go-to. He's my go-to that I really rely on quite a bit, and he always comes through. He's a great songwriter and just a wonderful young man. I will say, before Kevin says hello, one thing I wanted to point something out about the song. But let me let Kevin get in, because he might even say what I was thinking. There's something I wanted to share. But Kevin, how are you this evening?
Hello, everybody.
You remember Brother Richard? You've been around the peace events and all of that. You know Brother Richard Muhammad,
hey,
Brother Naba'a.
Hey, Brother Kevin, how you doing, brother?
Family.
Everybody's fine, sir. How's yours?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm with the man that's gonna win it all. So I'm good.
All right, that's who you want to be with. Kevin, talk to us about the music.
The music in That's Love is the music in the original music in That's Love is very fitting to the storyline. Me and Malachi have some had about probably like 10 minutes of brainstorming before we actually got the song jumping. So it was a nice flow, but it's a fit to the storyline of the passion of the ultimate passion that Christ has for his people and his preparation for his whole reason of being here. So the song that we wrote together, it puts an imprint in your mind off of that angle, that last conversation that was had between the spiritual father and Jesus Christ himself. So that is it's a teardropper to me. I was aiming. We were both aiming to make it a tearjerker, because we wanted to relay that emotional feeling. I don't know if many of us really meditate on how Jesus felt that entire time. All the way into the end of that day on Calvary. So it put us in a good mood, and it came out really great. The lyrics are really simple and catchy, and they're going to stick with you. So for those of you that come to the show, and I hope you really do enjoy the music, it's called Come Grab Me. Looking like the title is going to be either Come Grab Me or The Victory Is Yours.
What are some of the themes in the music, and how do those themes appeal in particular to young people?
The themes of some of the music and the play in general are love, self-love, guidance, like asking God for guidance, and really, there's really a lot of emphasis on love.
Testimonial. Testimonies of what you've done for that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot of testimony in the songs as well. And it puts children and youth that come to the show, they can look forward to hearing the songs and becoming more aware if they follow the storyline and the music. And they're really resonating it, then they can learn a lot through, about love, and listening to the testimonies through song, different experience that people have been through, and made songs with it. Another thing that I would say, it would probably give the kids some inspiration as well. A lot of inspiration. That's really what we aim to inspire. We aim to inspire those to aspire. So we either inspire them to become closer to Christ through the music, or the storyline itself, or everything that they've seen.
Yes,
just to piggyback personally for a second.
Malachi or something?
Yeah, I was just saying, just to piggyback off of that, I just believe that I agree with everything you said, by the way, but I believe that they're trying to touch both the younger and the older generation with the music that we're displaying. There are a lot of classics in there, so I don't believe that we're just trying to touch the youth. Like you said, we're trying to build those conversations between the youth and the older generation. So I believe we're definitely trying to
close that generational gap.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Kevin, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay, so you're still young. So now, as you look at, there are always different ways we can use our talents and our skills. So, how does it feel for you, as somebody that has participated in ABJ, now taking a leadership role? How does that feel for you, and you being able to use your talents in a special kind of way?
I love it. I was prepared a few months ago. I remember asking God to give me a workload, and all of a sudden I looked up and I had like 6 or 7 jobs to do, because I do graphic design and a slew of other things as well. So it was a busy week, or to the next 2 weeks for me was like completely busy. So I embraced the leadership role. It helps me to stay productive, and I like to lead by example as well. So a lot of the youth that I teach, they can see that hard work, that work ethic, and that it can instill in them as well, just by being around, being around that and seeing that drive. But I love the leadership because it's also an opportunity to learn as well. In everything that I do, I'm always learning something. My strengths are never really my strengths, because they can always get better. So I love the leadership It puts me in a position to become dependable, and I love coming through. I'm a great songwriter. I love writing. I love anything having to do with music. So that puts me in a realm of excellence. You know, I want everything to be excellence. It's Kevo Wavy. My artist name is Kevo Wavy. So yeah, anything with Kevo Wavy's name, I want excellence to be printed behind that product. So especially with things like this that will be delivered to the masses, I take it even more seriously because I want everybody to get something from it, and you never know who you can touch. It could be that one or two or that few that you touch that can really bring and embark about some other change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Sister Pastor, we often refer to Jesus as the black revolutionary Messiah. In other words, putting him where we believe he should be in terms of what he does to usher in this new world. How do you continue in your work with young people, in your creative work? There's always a spiritual undertone. There's always a spiritual aspect. How do you weave that into what you do? And how do you communicate with young people why you are doing that and why it's important?
I would say that this happens because of my gift. The gift is God ordained. It's God given. I had nothing to do with it. All I was really able to do with the gift is develop it and help it manifest. But the gift came from God, and it came. I recognized it, and my family recognized it, even as I was a little girl, as a child, and how it unfolds the way it does. And you've seen much of my work at this point, you and many others at this point. And it unfolds the way it does because God himself gave me that spirit. And that spirit is a spirit of love for God and love for my people, and also an anointing for unity. I had to come to realize, and I only did this very recently. I've been talking about unity, as you know, Brother Naba'a, for decades now, But it's not until recently that I actually realized that I'm chosen to help bring unity, and there's an anointing. So the work that I do in producing the community and my just absolute love for teenagers and young adults, it can't really help but to show up because it's always about unity, and it's always about how young people, I remember like early in my work, and it has continued throughout, how young people are just kind of pushed to the side. When they go to school, the lessons, the day is already planned out. Okay, now you go to lunch, now you go to home study, now you go to math. You know, everything is already mapped out. When you get back home, okay, this is your list of chores. Okay, now you got to do this. Now it's time to do that. Now, and I'm not speaking against structure. Please understand, listeners. I'm not speaking against structure at all. All I'm saying is that young people have to have some room for their ideas and what they see and what they want and what they want to do. So my work has always been around what is it that young people not only want, but what do they need? What do they need and what do they want? And it's just an anointing that flows out of my spirit, out of my heart, off my fingertips, and into my community. Because I'm a singer myself. I'm a singer, actress, playwright, have traveled quite extensively, but one of my greatest joys is working with young people in the community, which is what I chose to do. God chose me, and I chose it. So, yeah, Brother Naba'a, it shows up like that, and what it means to me, like an example of this is, I was taken aback. I was on a field trip. Kevin was with me. I don't know if he heard the conversation, but he was present. We took the young people to a recording studio, and we were riding in the van. This was about 8 months ago. We were riding in the van, and one of the young men, I'll call him Jay. Jay at the time was about, I think he might have been 15 still. I think he's 16 now, but he was 15. And we were talking, we were listening to music, and I think it was gospel music. And somewhere in that conversation, Jesus came up. And I said, yeah. I said, I said, that black man, oh my goodness. I said, he's something else. And he looked at me, and I said, what you looking at me like that for? He said, Jesus is white. I turned my whole body around in the van. I said, what you just say? He said, Jay was in the van, Kevin. You might remember this, but he said, Jesus is white. I said, no, baby. I said, no. I said, no, he's not. And I told him a little bit about, history and about Jesus himself and how he's portrayed. I'm saying all that to say that you asked me how do these things come about. Sometimes they come about from those kind of conversations, like, oh, that's a need right there. There's a gap right there. That's something that's got to be filled. There's space for some knowledge to be dropped right there. And quite frankly, I mean, I did this play almost 25 years ago, but I realized that the play has to happen now. It has to happen right now because our young people are following after all these other idols and all the celebrities or whatever it is they're pursuing, and the spiritual beliefs that people like us have, even in our differences of belief, we still have core beliefs that are the same, and values that are the same. And we've got to get that across to our young people, and not in a preachy way. There's a time and a place for everything, and preachy don't often work for young people. So that's kind of like a long answer, but at the base of it, it's all God, and it's all what He does and chooses to do through me as a vessel.
Very good, very good. Sister and brothers, you all can weigh in on this also. How long have you been working with young people now?
I've been working with young people now since 1989. So Kevin and Malachi calculate that because they're young. Y'all tell me how many years is that now? Because I started before ABJ. I started almost right out of high school. So what is that?
You said 1989, right?
Let's say 89. Probably was a little earlier than that, but just say 1989. What is that now?
Like 35 years?
Yeah.
No, that's more than 35.
No.
Oh, that might be 36. Okay, maybe 36.
Yeah.
Somewhere thereabouts, Brother Naba'a. Somewhere in that vicinity, about 36 years.
Yeah. And so, sister, I was thinking, very, very often we see young people being talked about, talked at, but not being talked to and not being listened to. What do you do to make that a proper interaction? And what do you think the proper interaction is when you're dealing with our young people?
One of the things I try to be very mindful to do is to look at the young person when I'm talking to them. Look them in their eye. That same young man that I just mentioned, Jay, the very first time that I met him, the staff had met him already, but when I met him, I walked up to him and I introduced myself, and he recognized my name because staff had been telling him about me. And I said, "What's your name?" And he told me his name, and I said, "Oh, okay." And he said, "I go to a bad boy school." I said, "What did you just say?" Now you hear what this young man with these, he talked about white Jesus. He says he's a bad boy. I go to a bad boy school. This is the same young man, by the way. I said, I said, you don't go to a bad boy school. I said, what is a bad boy? He said, I'm bad. I said, no, you're not. You are not bad. I said, I don't know who told you that you are bad, but you are not bad. And I had never met him. So it's encounters like that. I mean, it's seeing them as people. They are human beings.
Yeah.
They are human beings with emotions and feelings and thoughts and aspirations and dreams and fears and challenges and whatever else that, they are human. So my work has always been about seeing them for who they are. Even when I'm fussing at them, even when I'm going off on them, I don't do that so much anymore, but I used to all the time. But it was always rooted in love, though. It was always me loving them and my team. And I'm saying me. But it's not just me. At ABJ, it's the team. It's what my mother started when she started ABJ 32 years ago next month. It was always about the love of the people. It was always about the team. And my mother spent a lot of time on teamwork and team development. I just want to throw that in there because I want people to understand that I know it's not just me, but me, myself, personally, yes, it's about seeing young people for who they are. My mother had me at the age of 15 years old and was a dropout. She dropped out of high school because they wouldn't let her keep going to school pregnant because she was going to make a bad impression on the other young ladies. And so she dropped out of a brilliant young lady at the time, 15 years old, dropped out of high school. So I'm the daughter of a teenager myself. And I believe that played a major role of my personal journey of being the daughter of a 15-year-old girl that was still living with her parents, having a baby at the time when, teen pregnancy was not as it is today. That was a no-no. You got sent down south when you got pregnant back then. You get sent down south, but my mother didn't get sent down south. She stayed in Chicago, and I would say present day she's the founder of ABJ. Started at Kennedy King, went back, got a GED, went to Chicago State University, then went back to Chicago State, got a master's, and then she got an honorary doctorate for all the great work she's done in the community. But it started with her as a child, but then as a young teenager, a teen parent. And my father was much older than her. So I think some of this has spilled over from my personal experience of being under a teenage mother.
I had a question for Brother Malachi, if I can. Brother Malachi, when you're in school, are you in school?
Yes, sir. I go to State.
Where?
Chicago State University.
Oh, okay. I thought you might be in high school. But anyway, then when you talk to other young folks at your school and you tell them that you're playing Jesus Christ, what kind of response do you get from them as a young person talking about Jesus to other young people?
So I'm a music major, so a lot of people I talk to are spiritual. So the responses that I've gotten so far is, I love you, I support things of that nature. It's been supported. I haven't gotten any negative feedback regarding that.
Is there anything in the script, in your lines that you speak that kind of really resonate for you? Like, is there a particular line that you really, that connects with you? And if you have one, what would it be?
It's not necessarily a line, but there's a story embedded. If anybody knows of Jairus, when Jairus' daughter got sick and Jairus went to God, asking her to be healed, and he had faith. So that's probably the scene that speaks to me most, and it speaks to me because through his hardest times in his life, having a daughter that's sick, gonna die, she actually did die, and he brought her back to life. and you put your faith in God, you put your trust in God, that's really big. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of strength, courage, and faith. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, and I'm just curious too. Like Pastor Brady mentioned, the young man who responded that Jesus was white. I don't know your background or your how your parents raised you, but did you think Jesus was white at any point in your growing up? And when did it dawn on you that was also a lie?
I'm a pastor, so my mom and dad are both pastors, so they've always taught me that I was black, but growing in school, that wasn't taught. So before my parents had that conversation with me, I can't really pinpoint when, but before they had that conversation with me in school, I did get the impression that God was white because I didn't know. That's what's being taught in schools these days. You know, I even went to a public high school and they taught me about God being black. But before that, all these public schools that's being taught public education put out the information that they want you to, not what the truth is, in my opinion.
Last question for you. When you found that out, though, do you know or did it make a difference to you? And if so, how did that make you feel when you realized that he was black instead of white, if you can recall?
I feel like I always question in my mind, why did people say he was white, or why did he have to be white? You know what I'm saying? If that's what people are saying, how do I know that that's what's real? When my parents got to talking to me about it, I'm not say that it made much of a difference because of that question in my mind. Like, I felt like people were portraying him to be something else, and not giving us the whole truth. I don't think we should take everybody's word and just believe it off rip. You gotta go and do some research. I don't think much of a difference to me because I had that question in my mind already.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right. Well, Pastor Victoria, we need to sell some tickets. Pastor.
We sure do. We certainly do, because this is also a fundraiser. We've been out here 32 years, and you all on this radio, you're going on 3 years, and you know we need help. May I please share the ticket information?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Thank you. So tickets can be purchased at uchicago, that's the letter U, uchicago.edu, egg, doll, umbrella, edu, uchicago.edu, and you can also call the box office at 773-702-2787. Again, that's 773-702-2787. We would love to have you all come out to those tickets. We have those tickets, and then we also have tickets for senior citizens and students. So we encourage you to come out and celebrate 32 years. And our theme this year is the art of passion. The art of passion. So we hope to have our radio family, of course, my brothers on this call with us. We hope to see you, and thank you all for your support of Bootstraps, because we did get people out when we were on the show and we did the show Bootstraps. But I also want to know, are we going to do a couple of pairs of tickets, ticket giveaway?
We can. You want to do that tonight?
We can do that tonight, or we can come back, because I don't know what all you have scheduled. Whatever you say, my brother.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's bring you back and do it, and we'll announce it in advance. How about that?
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, because it's almost, 11 o'clock now?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of the play? And when is it? Not before what is the name of the play and when is it?
Okay, the play is That's Love from the Cradle to the Cross. That's Love from the Cradle to the Cross. And it's going to be Saturday, April 19, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. sharp. We're going to be down at the Reva and David Logan Center for the Arts in the Performance Hall at 915 East 60th Street. 915 East 60th Street. And there is parking, free parking available in the parking lot. So please get your children, people from the community. We want to see our brothers and sisters that's come out and have a great celebration. I heard the conversation you were having earlier, and you were talking about what are things that we can do. Well, we certainly can support the things that we're doing in our own community. We can unite with one another, and not only unite, but take unified action together and support our young people. There's an 8-year-old child in the play that just got her script, and she already knows her lines. So we want to support these babies. We want to support these young people, these young adults. We want to support them. Of course, we want to raise some money for the organization so we can keep doing the work we've been doing. But we really want to also support these young people. We have a couple of teenage young men in the play as well. So we have pretty much all ages represented. We're at least starting at 8 years old and up. But I just wanted to point that out, that these are the things that we can do. There's plenty that we can do, and we can do it very well as long as we choose to do those things together. And we stay on our own message, and we stay, we hold true to the things that we know that we need to do for our own people, because we already know what to do. It's just a matter of us doing it. Thank you.
Amen.
All right now. So, brothers and sisters, look, we're trying to bring you opportunities. So, Sister Pastor, thank you for coming on. And let's stay in touch so we can schedule you to come back soon. And we will promote the tickets, and we will, we'll do all that we can to help make this successful. So if you're listening, we're trying to be very intentional about giving you groups to connect with, right? So if you're talking about what can be done, who's doing what, this is one of the groups, ABJ Civic Arts Center. Is that correct, sister?
That is correct.
Yeah, and we have Brother Enoch with Hip Hop Detox. Thank you, Sister Pastor. Brother BJ, we need some money, man.
One second, Brother Naba'a. Before I'm disconnected, did we have any callers? We put the word out in case anyone called in. I'm not sure if anyone had an opportunity to call in.
We got Brother Eric. We can say Brother Eric. We're right at the top of the hour, and we got Eric has been holding on.
Okay. I just wanted to point that out, but thank you both so much. And I'll be
don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah,
we got to go to the break, and we'll come back, and we'll have Brother Eric, then we'll have you close, and then we'll have Families United for Justice and the Love Not Blood Coalition. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Stand by, brothers and sisters. Stand by. Coming up, y'all, right here on Straight Words on WVON 1690 to talk of Chicago. We have you going to the website tonight, straightwords.com, straightwords.com. Go to the website tonight before you go to bed. Make a donation to help keep this great program on the air. We've been coming to you for 2 years now, getting ready to go into our third year. Straightwords.com, straightwords.com. Also, hit Brother Naba'a up on the text line right now. Hit him up all night and tell him, Brother Naba'a, we're going to donate this much money, and we're going to bring a treasure chest to the doorstep of WVON so we can keep this show on forever. 312-480-9775, 9775. We'll tell you more coming up in the next hour on how you can help support our program right here on WVON 1690. This is the Talk of Chicago.
Happy Women's History Month from the station that celebrates Black Girl Magic, WVON.
This girl is on fire!
The Talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I tell you the greeting.
And I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 20.